Senator Obama, go ahead.
I disagree with the notion that lobbyists don't have disproportionate influence. Look, the insurance and the drug companies spent $1 billion in lobbying over the last 10 years. Now, Hillary, you were talking earlier about the efforts you made back in '93. Well, you can't tell me that that money did not have a difference. They are not spending that just because they are contributing to the public interest. They have an agenda. And so the one thing,
you complain about money in politics a lot, but yet during your career you've taken money from people connected with various special interest groups. Mm-hmm. Why are you better on money issues than any of your opponents?
Well, I've consistently said, David, that I'm not sinless in this process.
You've been talking a lot about lobbyists and money in politics. This is the Boston Globe in August. In Obama's 8 years in the Illinois Senate from 1996 to 2004, almost two-thirds of the money he raised for his campaigns came from political action committees, corporate contributions, unions, according to Illinois Board of Elections records. He tapped financial service firms, real estate developers, healthcare providers, oil companies, many other corporate interests, the records show. You now talk about, well, I'm not taking any money from lobbyists. You do take money from state lobbyists. You took $1.5 million from federal lobbying, employees who work for federal lobbying firms. There seems to be a real inconsistency between the amount of money you raise and where it's coming from and your rhetoric.
Well, Tim, look, I have said repeatedly that money is the original sin in politics, and I am not sinless.
Over the past few weeks, as we've debated reforms to hold Wall Street accountable and protect consumers and small businesses in our financial system, we've come face to face with the great power of special interests in the workings of our democracy. Of course, this isn't a surprise. Every time a major issue arises, we've come to expect that an army of lobbyists will descend on Capitol Hill in the hopes of tilting the laws in their favor. That's one of the reasons I ran for president, because I believe so strongly that the voices of ordinary Americans were being drowned out by the clamor of a privileged few in Washington.
And welcome back to Cloud on Air America Radio. I'm Christiane, sitting in for Richard Green tonight with journalist extraordinaire Greg Powell. Let's go to his website. We're going to talk about Barack Obama and this big deal with Big Pharma.
It required an investigative reporter from the LA Times to discover that there were secret meetings, secret negotiations by Barack Obama's people with the big drug company, and it was a deal in secret. Billy Towson, the guy that Barack Obama, during the campaign, said, this guy's a creep, we won't deal with him, that was the guy that they shook hands with. And when I say shook hands, that ain't metaphorical. It was a backroom deal.
He's such a charming liar, though. He's such a nice guy when he lies like that.
Tim, tell us a little bit about the lobbyists. You have written a column about the fact that there are several dozen lobbyists actually working under President Obama. Give us a little detail about that.
Yes, we found at least 45 former lobbyists. That's people who have registered to lobby in Washington or who lobbied back before there was federal registration. 45 of them in the Obama administration. So he said, we've excluded lobbyists. That was his line in the State of the Union.
He said we've excluded them from policy-making decisions.
So yes, so that's what I'm talking about, senior level positions, 45 of them.
Proving that money still buys political influence, USA Today has revealed that more than 40% of President Obama's top-level fundraisers have secured posts in his administration, from key executive branch jobs to diplomatic postings in countries such as France, Spain, and the Bahamas. The newspaper discovered that 20 of the 47 fundraisers that Obama's campaign identified as collecting more than $500,000 have been named to government positions. 54 fundraisers have been named to government positions ranging from cabinet and White House posts to advisory roles.
Well, it's a mix of business and politics as the president wraps up this quick trip to the Big Apple. But with 3 different fundraisers on tap tonight alone, it's clearly the politics that's taking precedent.
The lion's share of the president's trip is about raising campaign cash, something he's been doing more of as Election Day 2009 draws closer. The president is coming under some criticism for tonight's big-ticket events because they are taking place just a stone's throw away from Wall Street, a place where as many as a third of tonight's donors work. And the appearance is somewhat awkward for the president, given his tough talk last month on reining in Wall Street.
We will not go back
to the days of reckless behavior and unchecked excess that was at the heart of this crisis, where too many were motivated only by the appetite for quick kills and bloated bonuses.
Still, the picture of the president with donors who paid upwards of $30,000 to see him may not sit well with the public.
There are so many people unemployed today, and when they see the president going to a fundraiser where people are paying thousands of dollars to get their picture with the president, it's just unseemly.
It also comes at a time when Wall Street's ways are under siege. Experts know presidential fundraising is nothing new, but today's economic realities make for a tougher backdrop.
Brian, one Democratic strategist said that part of the president's problem is simply his own expectations. Some of the rhetoric he said on the campaign trail made it seem as if he was coming into office in a clean white suit. So now any speck of mud, like raising money from Wall Street donors, shows up a lot clearer than if he came in just as another politician wearing just another gray suit.
That's why it's so important that Congress consider new reforms to prevent corporations and other special interests from gaining even more clout in Washington. For what we are facing is no less than a potential corporate takeover of our elections. And what is at stake is no less than the integrity of our democracy.